We live in our body. We use this body every day. We see, hear, taste and feel across this body. Why don't we know everything about this amazing organism? I'm sure that you had dreams which were so realistic, like if you were awake, but after you woke up and realized that you were sleeping, and your body is still lying in your bed. You were somewhere where your body wasn't. Maybe you already had a spiritual journey during meditation or a trip. Again the same, you were at a place where your body wasn't. How is this possible? The answer is DMT or dimethyltryptamine. DMT is an intense naturally occurring psychedelic material, which can be found in many plants and animals. It is the strongest of all psychedelic drugs and is sometimes referred to as an entheogen, a word that means God generated within. Did you know that it can be found in our body too? Yes, it is made in mammals' brains, and is related to serotonin and melatonin. For example, the DMT is released in high doses in our brain at the moment of death. The history of DMT dates back several hundred years when it started as a substance used during religious ceremonies and rituals. DMT is found in several South American brewed concoctions like ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is a tea that Amazonian tribes brew from two plants and drink as a sacred medicine.
When I was here for my first time, I had no idea what's coming up. I had no expectations. I only knew that ayahuasca is a great healer and a great medicine. My first experience was very special. I will never forget that day. The medicine put me on an inner journey and he showed me the things inside. They are not clean. They were like rooms, and I opened the rooms and I saw a lot of trash in the rooms. And over the years we cleaned all the rooms up. It's now my 7th time here. I drank ayahuasca nearly 60 times. When you take a medicine, it's very important to have the right setting. Medicines usually act local, and medicine here is a local medicine from the Amazon. From my own experience, it is very, very important to have the jungle, to have the environment of the plants around. Ayahuasca to be in the jungle and not in a city or in a country where there is no rainforest. You can do that, it works, but it's not an optimum.
Today ayahuasca is enjoying newfound popularity. Its psychedelic effects and its potential psychiatric benefits for people with mood disorders and illnesses fuel demand both in South America and the United States, where shamans offer ayahuasca ceremonies for curious practitioners. DMT can be produced synthetically, and the original synthesis was created by a British chemist named Richard Mansk in 1931. However, in 1990 Rick Strassman, a psychiatrist at the University of New Mexico, obtained permission from federal authorities to inject DMT into human volunteers. Strassman, a Buddhist, suspected that endogenous DMT might contribute to mystical experiences. From 1990 to 1995, he supervised more than 400 DMT sessions involving 60 subjects at the University of New Mexico. Many subjects reported that they dissolved blissfully into a radiant light or sensed the presence of a powerful, godlike being. On the other hand, 25 subjects underwent what Strassman called adverse effects, including terrifying hallucinations of aliens that took the shape of robots, insects, or reptiles. Some subjects remained convinced that these aliens were real in spite of Strassman's efforts to convince them otherwise. In part out of concern about these adverse effects, Strassman discontinued his research, which he describes in his 2000 book DMT, The Spirit Molecule.
That's a $64 billion question, is why is DMT in our bodies? Why is it in plants, in all sorts of mammals? What is the role it plays in humans?
The conventional.
How is DMT used? Despite its illegal status, the hallucinogen is still used in various settings for religious ceremonies to obtain deep spiritual awakening or insight. It results in psychoactive effects. By itself, DMT is usually snorted, smoked, or injected. This is because it's not active when taken by mouth alone. When smoked, the average dose of DMT is 30 to 150 milligrams, and the effects can be felt immediately. The effects peak for 3 to 5 minutes and then drop off, with the high lasting about 30 to 45 minutes in total. When the hallucinogen is consumed as a brew, the dose is between 35 to 75 milligrams and effects begin after 30 to 45 minutes. The psychoactive effects peak at 2 to 3 hours and vanish within 4 to 6 hours. The main effect of DMT is psychological. People want to take the substance because it provides intense auditory and visual hallucinations and an altered sense of space, body, and time. Users have reported shifts in time, visiting other dimensions, talking with aliens, life-altering experiences, and complete changes in the perception of identity and reality. Compared with other hallucinogenic drugs like LSD, mushrooms or ketamine, people who use DMT say that it has the lowest amount of negative side effects. In high doses, DMT can cause seizures, respiratory arrest, and coma. Side effects: increased heart rate, agitation, dizziness, increased blood pressure, dilated pupils, chest pain or tightness, rapid rhythmic movements of the eyes. Depending on the user, the experience of taking the drug can be overwhelmingly exciting or extremely frightening. The trip can be so powerful that users may have a difficult time incorporating the experience into their real life after the moment has passed. The mental side effects associated with the drug can linger for days or even weeks after ingestion. The long-term effects of DMT use, excessive use, and addiction are currently unknown. However, it appears that use of the hallucinogen does not result in tolerance. There is also little evidence to suggest that ayahuasca creates lasting physiological or neurological deficits. Though the physically addictive qualities of DMT remain to be seen, you can be addicted to this hallucinogen's psychological effects, just like other drugs. The biggest question remains, is DMT just a hallucinogen drug, or is it a gateway into other worlds?